So I'm gonna do this video as like a update for Blazer because he hasn't been watching all of my craziness. So this is like where I'm at with my Moon Tiger upgrades, the van upgrades, and whatever else, kind of all in one. So for Moon Tiger, I've decided. I had decided I was going to get a Ballistic Advantage barrel with a pinned gas block and melanite gas tube, and they keep upping the price on that, and it's hard to save for something at all if they keep upping the price. So I'm still on that, but the backup option is what I'm leaning towards, which is you find some government profile 20-inch barrel and reuse the gas block and get a melanite gas tube. That's the cheapest way to do that, and it's probably the way I'm leaning. But I want a 20-inch barrel on Moon Tiger because I want a longer range gun, and financially, I've limited myself to 5.56. I want full systems and shit, not just a gun with a box of ammo, and as such, it's hard to justify anything above 5.56 for me. So I'm building kind of an SPR out of her, and that's what many of the other upgrades I've done have been for, and Blazer's seen all of those. The bipod, the heat shield, the fucking scope red dot combo. We're all leaning towards a direction, right? The other upgrade I want to get is I think a nickel boron PSA bolt carrier group and a buffer and spring that's not junk, and then I want to get a LaRue MC2B, whatever the fuck it is, the cheap LaRue 2-stage trigger for the AR-15. That's, I think the right way to go for the precision build. Like, the 2-stage will make it really accurate, and like, I was wanting like a pseudo light machine gun, but I'm kind of getting more like an SPR kind of thing that's capable of high rates of fire. And I think that's where you should be on rifle wise. I'm trying to think what else I was going to say about that. The only other thing I really want to get for that is a drum mag or two. And I don't really know how useful those will be. But like, I really want more mags in general. I want to get like a 10 or 12 pack of 30s, 40s, and 20s, and a couple of drums. And that's stuff that, like, I don't know when that's going to happen. That's after rifle upgrades and after car upgrades, probably, or somewhere mixed in for some of it. I might get a drum sometime sooner rather than later. Paint it to match Moon Tiger, so it would look cool. But that's pretty much all of the gun stuff I'm doing, other than getting the shotgun from Blazer. So we'll see on that. The car upgrades, I've basically pared it down to where I'm getting the roof rack. I get the roof rack and maybe save up, eventually get the winch and the LED lights I want. I might go ahead and do the LED lights. I go back and forth. I want LED headlights and LED like pod lights on the bumper. I think having the ability to, have the bright LED headlights to begin with, and then go even brighter with, they're little pods with quad LEDs in them that you can get a pair of them for like $100 on Amazon. Thought that looked dope. And then a winch. I have one picked out that's like $300. I don't know when that gets done, but that would be the next thing, I think. And there's switches that I want to get to control stuff from the inside, and I'd like to get those and get them mounted, even if they're not hooked up to anything. Other than that, it's all putting shit together on the van at this point. That's kind of cool. Trying to think of what else I need done. Well, there's knives. I have found the coolest thing, Blazer. It's Smoky Mountain Knife Works lets you check out with Zezel, and so does the Knife Connection. And Zezel will let you finance shit out to where it's either 4 payments. That's what Smoky Mountain Knife Works was doing. On the Knife Connection, it was letting me do like 24-month financing. You could order like $2,000 worth of shit and pay $20 a month. Like, that becomes an interesting way to, get capital. To be honest, it's an interesting way to get a loan. You get a whole bunch of really nice knives and then, sell them on eBay, sell them at gun shows. I don't know. You'd have to, it would be better if you could finance them and get them at a rate that, made sense. But it would be a fun way to make some money, I think. What I'm using it for is it lets you build your credit score, too. And from now on, I'm just keeping a couple of knives on that thing. I want to buy knives, and I spend random ass money on knives anyway. So now I'm building a credit score and getting nicer knives. And I'm going to build a nice collection of shit kind of new in box that is a semi-retirement fund. I don't know. It's a way to store some money for now that's not US dollars. I know that Blazer is, not as concerned about the US dollar as me, but I'm not a fan of cash. And I think this whole centralized digital currency shit is coming. And, as such, silver and gold is on my list too, but it's at the bottom of the list. And I think knives are always worth something, basically. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about this all wrong, but I'm going to try to get quality shit. Food prep wise, I've kind of been slacking, to be honest. Food prices have been so high. I spent a considerable amount of money on prep food, and I have been supplementing my diet heavily with that as of the last couple of months. I'm going to start stocking that back up again, though, after I get the car done and the rifle done. I don't know. Having that shotgun thrown in there doesn't help things, so I really want to get that thing back too. It's that's a cool gun. It's gonna be dope to have it in the van as the survival weapon of the van. Some shit. I don't know. I go back and forth on that. I debate on how many weapons to take in the van. The other thing that might be on the list now is a taser, because Blazer got himself a cop type taser, and that I could see that I want a taser now. And my reasoning on this is carry the black powder revolver and a taser when you're in an unfriendly place, law wise. Carry a real gun and a taser when you're in more friendly places. And have the taser as the first option because of all of the legal bullshit that there is now with shooting somebody. The taser at least gives you options. I really like that idea. This is why Blazer and I are friends. He's a smart cookie. And my thought with the black powder revolver is also that it is a melee weapon, so it gives you options too. Now, it is a melee weapon that shoots bullets, so you probably ought to know that, but I don't know what else we should update on, but one of the things I've been thinking a lot about lately is I'm going to pack fishing equipment wherever we go, and I'm going to try to catch fish. I have a start of a kit in there, but I really need to get my other rod and reel and tackle box and shit and sort through what I have and what I don't have and get a rig built out for fishing out of the van. I've got a starter already kind of going that like is the van kit, I think, but I'd like to have a full-size pole. Like this is what the roof rack would be handy for like a fishing pole and shit. You could just lash that shit on up there. Oh, on the van also, I found a thing that mounts a wheel for a VW thing on the hood of the car, and I'm going to buy it and adapt it to my fucking Honda Odyssey and put the spare out on the hood because I think it looks badass. And I don't know what I'm going to use the compartment for the spare for. Maybe some sort of a tool kit or something like that. But like, that's my thoughts. As we're freeing up that space because we're going to fill that space with tools for breakdowns and shit like that. And I'd like to figure out a way to mount shovel and axe on either side of that tire, so it looks like a World War II Kubelwagen kind of thing. Like we got the Kubelvan, you know. That with the winch and the pod lights and the loudspeakers blaring AC/DC or whatever else it is. I want the switch that says Fortunate Son or whatever. They make a switch. It's like one of like the Apollo switches from a command module that says Fortunate Son. And I just think that would be awesome to have that as like the power switch to the PA system and be able to blast music. And I don't know, that's all I'm thinking about on the van other than a lift. But that's big money. Like a lift and bigger tires is such a big money thing. Like that's for now. I love my van because I can do all this to it and it rolls. And I'm hoping to get a better job at some point and save up a few $1,000s and dump into making this thing some sort of Mad Max monstrosity. But if that never happens, I'm kind of cool with it as is. Because as is, I want it to be like the, in our like movie that we're going to shoot eventually, that is like a Space Marine movie. That will be like the, conveyance for like a Marine patrol or something like that. It'll be like a shuttle pod thing or something. That's where my head is at. Like, that's half of why it's getting so crazy looking. That and like, fuck it. I don't get why people don't drive cars that look cool. People drive cars that look like everybody else's cars. I feel like I live in a world where it's like, I don't know. I read the Giver in school, and that's all I think about anymore. Is like we are starting to live in the world of the Giver. In like 1984 and so many other like of these like not post-apocalyptic but post the revisioning of humanity, like they're dystopias. We're living in dystopian times, and as such, the rifle I don't know if I'll ever need. I'm prepping that mostly as a in case we ever need it kind of a thing, and it's not just for me, it's for like my whole family. The van is more for me. Like the van and some pistols is all I need. I'll just stay out of people's way. Pretty good at it. And like, I don't know. I really think that like the van life people, the nomads in the desert, are the best people to survive the apocalypse. They're already kind of out there on their own. They're mobile. And I know Blazer kind of agrees with this. This is, I think, where we're both trying to point our lives is like have a van, maybe live out of the van, maybe get an apartment, maybe have a job, maybe don't have a job, have enough money to get by no matter what, but like, I don't know, my plan job-wise at this point, I'm going to get Starlink for the van eventually, and I have some internet jobs that I'm kind of lining up, but I'm wanting to get my fucking ear better before I apply for that shit. It's just antibiotic is helping, but it's not really helping that much. I don't really know what I got going on, so I might just have to figure it out. Anyway, it would be cool to be able to just make money on the internet doing something random and have Starlink and do it out of the like passenger seat of your van. It's like the ultimate freedom right there. I don't know how else to make the van life thing really work. And the only way really to do that is to pony up the money and get Starlink. And this is where I think if Blazer and I were smart, we would caravan, share Starlink, caravan for safety kind of a thing, and have the ability to split off and go on our own or whatever, but camp just far enough apart that we don't bother each other. I don't know. I think that has more of a future to it than many things right now. I keep looking at the world and it's like, man, it just keeps getting shittier. Like, I made a video that you should watch that's something about the world ended in 2020. I think that's pretty much right on. I think the world did end in 2020 and we're just limping on now. And they've got enough people bought into their system that like there's going to be a lot of people that continue to limp on right up until they die. This is half of why, like, I know I seem crazy sometimes, but like, man, it's fucking crazy to believe the shit that they're telling you. It's fucking crazy to just keep going to work every day like nothing happened. Especially while we're dividing up lines for a civil war or some shit. The place that I kind of want to go hang out around is like West Texas desert. I don't know. Maybe if that sucks, try New Mexico, Arizona. But like, I'd really love to stay in Texas. I think there's a reason why no one hangs out in the Texas desert, though. New Mexico is way nicer. New Mexico. We should go camp at the Red Dawn Rocks. That's our fucking camping trip. I've been trying to convince Blazer that we need to take my van and whatever van he ends up getting and do like a week or 2 week camping trip at some point. Like, prove all this shit out. And I've been suggesting places, and like my ideas thus far were like Wild West locations. I think we should go to the Red Dawn Rocks. Find some range near there or something, and a place to fish and chill and watch movies and eat good food and go fishing and shooting all the time. This is kind of like my view of life, really, is that we should find some place to, shoot, some place to fish, camp in between them, and watch a bunch of movies on DVD. Or if we have Starlink, we could do whatever the fuck we want, really. Like, I've been buying DVDs to have a backup of shit in case, like, the world ends and the internet's out and whatever, but it's also for camping. But, like, fuck, if we have Starlink, we could have a 4K TV with an Amazon Fire Stick all running off of solar with all of Netflix and Amazon and iTunes and whatever else. Like, be fucking dope as shit. I don't know how we would have that set up in camp. I kind of keep going over that shit too. I want to have a deployable entertainment system like that. I just think it would be cool for camping. Keep working on that. Anyway, this is coming up on 20 minutes. There's more to update you on, Blazer, but the rest is really just me, causing internet drama with trolls that you don't care about. So I'll see you later. Tell me what you think about my ideas on my projects, man.